Hello, I'm Robert, a fact checker and science blogger, helping people scared of many things. And this time, it's about people who are scared that this conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn is the star of the birth of Jesus. And then, through some strange mangling up of the scriptures, and some false prophets are saying that this is also a star that's going to mean Jesus is going to return. Completely mangled up. There's nothing in the Bible about that. So, just to remind you about the Bible story, then the story that many will be familiar with, being brought up as a Christian child, is of the three wise men who travelled and they saw a star in the east, and they followed it and followed it and followed it, and it came to rest above the, just above the crib where Jesus was born. Now, normal stars and planets don't work like that. So, it's very hard to actually understand this in terms of astronomy. They don't sort of move and then stop and then hover over something. So what did that mean? It's particularly to hover over a particular place. Just one of many places, many houses, many cribs in Bethlehem. Then how could a star have hovered over a particular crib? So then you get people trying to understand that in various ways. And so you get these conjunctions. For instance, there was a pattern of 3 planets in the sky at one point. And there are a couple of conjunctions, and here we are, that in December, where was it? In December, it was 1 degree apart. Where is it? Let's see if I can find it. Let's find December 1. Yes, so on December the 4th, in 7 BC, the closest of the 2 conjunctions, they were about a degree apart. That's twice the diameter of the moon. So you could fit 2 full moons between Jupiter and Saturn back then. And if you look at this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction table, then these conjunctions every 20 years. Let's scroll down and find it. So here we are, and you see that's the degrees where the separation in arc minutes. 65 arc minutes is a degree. So you can see they just go back to 1206, but I just want you to have a look and see most of them, 60, it's nothing unusual about it being 1 minute apart, like it was 7 BC on the 4th of December. You see an awful lot of them are closer, and then some are very close, 6.8. And if we go and look at our one, find our one, 2020, that's 6.1. So that's much closer than it was back then. And so we get these every 20 years. So if that was the Bethlehem star, then that happens every 20 years. So there's nothing special about this one. Indeed, this one is much closer. And there are times which is even closer still. This one is close enough so it look like a single star to naked eye. Back at 7 BC, it would be way, way apart. 2 full moons apart. You can easily see the moon with your eye and see it's not just a single dot. And this is double the width of the moon apart. There's no way you could mistake it for a single star. And it doesn't really fit the story very well at all. And it's just the best of a whole bunch of things that don't really fit it very well. Maybe it was a comet, maybe it was a fireball, maybe or a series of fireballs. Maybe it was a supernova or a nova, or people just have all sorts of ideas, and this is one of them. And that's all it is. And then, as I said, there's nothing in the Bible saying that there were wise men who saw a star in the east and they travelled and they found Jesus returning. It's just not in there. It's nothing about Jesus returning. They found Jesus being born. It's just a different story. No connection. So what else am I going to talk about? There's not really that much. It's just the 3 wise men, and that's about Jesus' birth. So if you want to do anything about this, I just looked for images. There's another one. Maybe that's a fireball. Maybe it's supposed to be a comet. Yes, it's a very popular theme, and there we are. All the other ones I was doing an image search, but that's all. That's what it's just about Jesus' birth. There's nothing there, nothing even remotely to do with Jesus' second coming, and it can't be, because the Bible is quite explicit that nobody knows. So if it was this conjunction, And then if they'd understood astronomy as well as we do, they could have predicted it 2,000 years ago. And obviously isn't the case that nobody knows. So, and it doesn't mean that there are secret clues in the Bible and that God didn't tell anyone else, didn't tell Jesus, didn't tell the apostles, didn't tell the angels. They left a clue in the Bible for some human being to discover. It's not right. And it doesn't mean that the people who wrote the Bible, they didn't know either. So it's just, there's nothing there. You can't go searching in the Bible and expect to find anything there about a date for Jesus returning. It can't be there. The Bible itself says so. So, I talked about that before. What else do I have to talk about? No, I've talked about all that in the previous video. I just wanted to say this little thing about there's no connection with Jesus' birth. And also, there's no way of knowing when Jesus was born. We know when he died, because the crucifixion was on the Passover, and that is when Easter is celebrated. Nobody knows when he was born. Indeed, winter seems rather surprising. And so it was probably chose it because of connection with the pagan Saturnalia festival, just festival of the coming of the new year, very similar to our equinox. And but just because people are having a festival anyway, it's not because there was any evidence that he was born on December 25th. So you can enjoy it and have a celebratory Christmas as much as you can with COVID-19, and do your physical distancing, everything, and just if you want to think about this, just think about this as that's what it'll look like, a rough idea of what it'll look like, and just think of this as being reminding you of the birth of Jesus, and thinking of this, even if it's maybe not the Bethlehem star, it just reminds you of Jesus being born and the hope and the joy and so on. And then the other thing is, they're just so sad that Jesus is the Saviour. Jesus is a Saviour for Christians. So the people who constantly contact me and they say they're terrified of Jesus returning, that doesn't make sense. If Jesus is your Saviour, why are you terrified of him? It doesn't make sense. And then it turns out they read internet people, and these internet people tell them all sorts of told stories. What the internet's, that's internet inanity or something. Internet inanity. Internet inanity. You know, it's an inanity. Yeah, that's it. Internet inanity. It's quite inane. They just make up all sorts of things that there's no basis to it. They're basically riffing and bullshitting a new religion, and then they make it out. I've talked before, but they make it out that you can only be saved and you can only be a Christian if you're going to pass a test. It's like a multiple choice. They make it seem like you've got a multiple choice, and do you choose A, B, C, D, or E? 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 I don't know. How am I supposed to know whether it's okay to put up a Christmas tree? How do I know if God has told me it's okay to put up a Christmas tree? I mean, I can't ask him. And I've got these, and some people say maybe it's okay and some say it isn't. That's one of these silly things. Of course it's okay to put up a Christmas tree. But, they make it like that you've got this random multiple choice thing, and you've got to get each one right, and if you get all those things right, then you're going to be saved. And if you don't, you don't. And then they go and tell you which things you've got to do. And they say, what I'm saying is the way you've got to be saved. And that's not what it's like about, that's Christian. That's not Christianity, that's the religion that I was brought up with when I was a child. And the central thing about Christianity is that God is love, and Jesus is there to help people, and to, he forgives everybody. He's took on the sins of the world, and all your sins are forgiven through Jesus. And that is not, that just doesn't fit the character of someone who sets you a mysterious a rather sadistic multiple choice questionnaire where he knows you've only got about 1 chance in a million of getting them all right, and then those only ones that just by chance happen to get the right answers. That's not Christianity at all. That's a ridiculous idea. So please, if you've started getting this idea, and then who are these people to tell you? That that's what you should. That's what your religion should be. I mean, they're not privy to they've got no special knowledge over you. So it's just really quite basic. Just do things to be the best person you can. Help other people. It's in the sense of just trying to do what you can and do things that are expression of kindness, expressions of generosity, and trying to help other people, and also making your own life worthwhile in the world, and these sort of things. Just doing positive things, not lying, and not stealing, not especially. In the case of harming other people. Basically, I think foundation for all the religions. Then, if you first of all, if you don't harm other people, and then if you also do what you can to help others, and you don't harm yourself, and you do the best you can to help yourself as well, and get in a good place yourself, then that's the essence of all the religions, really. That's the central point. And I don't think you find many religions that would say that that's wrong, and then you get little frills and details and all these ceremonies and things which kind of help keep you on a good track, good way. Because that sounds simple enough, but it's not so easy to do that. And so these religions help you on your path. And then also it needs wisdom, and it's not always clear. You may be wanting to help someone, but it's not always clear how to do it. You may be wanting to solve your things for yourself, all sorts of problems and things you need to sort out, and often it's not at all clear how to do that either. So it's much easier said than done, but and that's basically the path you keep on falling, and you keep on it's like a child learning to walk, and you keep falling down, but you keep at it, and that's where the forgiveness of Christianity comes in. That it's just expected of you. You can't be a perfect person. I don't think there's any religion where the practitioners think, well, it must be very rare, where the practitioners think that by joining their religion they become a perfect person. And I think that you would be pretty suspicious of such a religion if they did say that, oh, you are now a Sittelborg, and all Sittelborgs are perfect people, something like that. And you just need to join our religion, and then you'll be perfect. And there's no such religion, I don't think. So, anyway, you just follow your path as best you can, and ask for help from others, learn from others, learn in your own life, so on.